If there is one thing that I had to pick that I hate to mention to customers, it is a glass shower door. I can't tell you how many times I start to talk about a glass shower door and they practically just recoil in horror. I can't tell you how many people are also like, I want to do whatever I have to do to design my shower so I don't have to have a door. It doesn't have to be that way. And I know why people feel that way, because they have lived in a house that had one of those shower doors that you slid back from the 80s, and it had that big track. I mean, it was like a track that was this deep, big sides on it, and the only way to clean it out was with like a little toothbrush that you can scrub with, and you would go to slide them and you'd have to jerk them, and they were a disaster. It is not that way anymore. So today I'm going to talk to you all about glass shower doors and enclosures. And of course, I'm going to be telling you what I think you should get, because they are the best. I have tried to figure out the best way to organize this information that I want to give you about glass shower doors, but it's a little bit tough. There are actually a lot of choices to make. I'm going to start by telling you what my favorite types of doors are. And then from there, I'll kind of just meander into what your other options are and why I don't like them. I think that might be the best way to handle this. So my favorite door is heavy glass, frameless. Whether it swings or rolls, I don't care. I like both ones that swing open or that roll back. So your glass, I said heavy glass. So glass comes in several weights. It just depends on the different manufacturer, but there's two main weights. There's light, which is about 1/4 of an inch, and then there's heavy glass, which is 3/8 of an inch. I would always say to you to try to spring for the 3/8 inch glass. It is very heavy, folks, and it is very luxurious feeling. It's easier to take care of, I think, and I just like the way it performs better. Let me just give you a scenario on something that happens with the thin glass. So you get the thin glass. First of all, it almost has to have a frame around it. And that is just what it sounds like. So if you have a door that is the thin glass, it almost has to have a metal frame around it to give it structural support. And so it closes against another piece of metal typically via a magnet. And so that magnet is pretty strong to help keep it closed. Well, when you go to open the glass, there's this moment where it's like catches, and when it does that jar, lets loose, all the water runs down the door. And so then you have a big puddle. Or if you've got the door open and you hit it, just the smallest little shock wave will send all that water sheeting down the door, and you've got a puddle on your floor. And I'm really against that. So, heavyweight in frameless. Now, I don't mind whether it swings or whether it glides on a roller. Either one of those is fine, but like I said earlier, try to stay away from the ones that actually slide. Then, no matter if you get a frameless door or not, you're still gonna have a handle, you're still gonna have hinges, and you're gonna need to pick a metal finish for those. I'm not kidding you. There are 14 different metals on the website that I looked at. I'm in my blog post, I'm gonna link a website for Bosco, I guess that's how it's pronounced, shower door company, and I really like their website. They laid out a lot of information. They tell you how to measure it in DIY and all the things, where to buy it and everything. I'm gonna talk to you more about DIY on these in a few minutes though, but the finishes. They come in a lot of different options, and they started carrying brushed gold, which I'm really excited about because that is relatively new. So what I need to say to you about the finishes of the door is they don't have to match your faucets. I think that if you do your shower door metal, all of your faucets, and your bath hardware, which I've not talked about those yet, but that's coming. That's your shower ring, your toilet paper holder, and your towel bars, and robe hooks. You don't have to do all that stuff exactly the same. It's actually even a little bit boring. However, I do have some rules for it. So I think that bronze, which is kind of that darker brown, and the brushed gold go well together. I like the chrome and the satin nickels together, but I don't like And I don't even mind the oil rubbed bronze, that darker brown with the chrome. I think that's okay. But I don't like putting the silvers with the golds. I guess you could get away with it, but it's just not my favorite. So I just did a bathroom not long ago for my cousin, and I did all of her faucets in the oil rubbed bronze. But let me think, and I did her hardware in it, but her light fixtures I did, and the handles on her cabinet, I did all those in brushed gold, and it just really looked pretty together, and it gave a nice layer, texture, something additional that's interesting in the room, I think. So that's something to think about on that. Now, I've already said heavy glass, but there are also options for the texture of the glass. So I almost 100% of the time get clear glass. I think it's pretty. I don't like the textured ones very much at all. If I had to get a textured one, I would get one that was just like frosted, just the white color. But they've got rain glass, they've got etched glass, they've got beveled glass. I don't care for them. I mean, you do you. That's why there's so many options, so that you can do you. For me, and for a high class, luxury looking bathroom, clear wins all the time. There is also a treatment that you can have done to the glass, and it's a protective coating. And it's supposed to help, especially with hard water, as far as water spots and just soap scum, things like that, getting the glass. It's supposed to clean easier. I don't know exactly how much it costs. When I did mine 5 years ago, it was a really new technology, and it was like $500. I got it for less than that because I'm in the business and they wanted me to talk about it, which I'm still doing 5 years later. But I did it, and I have to say my shower looks phenomenal. My glass looks just like it did when I installed it. However, I take good care of my glass. After almost every shower, Tony and I both squeegee down our glass, our shower walls, and everything. We're really picky about that, but I have to say it's paid off. My shower looks gorgeous. Okay, I promised you I would talk about DIY. I do not recommend it on shower doors. There, I just came right out and said it. Here's the thing. So the Bosco website that I'm going to link to you in my blog, they honestly have videos about how to measure them, how to install them, and everything. So if you're a hardcore DIYer, you may be able to do it. But here's the thing. It's not as simple as just measuring. Your walls have to be plumb. They have to be straight. So, you can't have a wall that runs at a little bit of an angle. You can't have one with a bow in it or anything like that. And those things happen super often. And it's just framing material. It twists, it turns. There's just a lot going on there. And once you measure for and purchase that shower door, it is cut to your specifications. You own it. So I don't know. I don't know if I would undertake that or not. I've never broken out the price between what does just a shower door cost and what does the installation cost. It always comes kind of bundled together for me. So let me just give you an idea on prices. So if I have a straight shower door that's 5 foot long, it goes in front of a 5-foot shower. So those have a panel and they have a door that swings typically. Those run me between $650 and $700 for thin glass, for the 1/4-inch glass with the frame around it, or a semi-frameless. Semi-frameless, I didn't really talk about that. They still have some frame, but not a lot. They do look a little bit better than the completely framed ones. If I do a heavy glass 5-foot shower door with same thing, with a panel and a door that swings, it's probably going to be about $1,100. Now, if you do the rolling shower door with the heavy glass, those are more like $2,200. So they are a lot more expensive, but the shower doors can be highly customized, like mine, for instance, and I am going to put a picture of my shower in the blog or show notes. It has a notch out of it, so my shower's 5 foot long, but it has a bench in the back of it, and my piece of glass is actually cut to go around that. I just can't imagine doing all that as a DIY project. But I also, on this same website, they told you where you could go to buy. So I noticed that you can get the products at Lowe's. So you may be able to go to Lowe's and special order all that. I can't imagine doing that with a person on Lowe's staff. Have they ever done it before? Have they actually been really trained by the company? That just sounds to me like you're walking through a landmine. So I would call somebody. Here where we live locally, there are several places that do it. There's AG Glass and Mirror. There's First Choice Glass, I believe is their name, in Simpsonville. That's who does a lot of mine, and they're really good. Hector is the guy over there that does them, and he's just fabulous. Econo Glass is one in Louisville. They do a good job. I think Louisville Plate Glass may also do them. I'm not sure about that. But if you just go in and Google glass shower doors or glass shower enclosures in your city name, it'll probably bring you up several options. So I hope this was helpful. I'm kind of continuing down this road of talking about every single item in a bathroom. So whether you're building a new house and you're picking out things for the bathroom, or you're getting ready to do a remodel, I'm hoping that you're finding this information helpful.